cleaning up your mess up there in Chandler Ramirez, illegal dump site. There's just so many, too many. And then we went with Father Paul, who's the priest at Our Lady of Lourdes in Jigo. And now we're with Cyrus Luhr of Gain, which is located in Jigo. Good morning, Cyrus.
Morning. Thanks for having us.
Of course. Always a pleasure. Let's start with official business type stuff first. So we had the mayors on yesterday, and man, they are really rounding up these stray cats and dogs. I couldn't even believe that we had Mayor Louise Friday. She said that in her village, they had rounded up 62 stray cats and dogs. I didn't get the chicken count, but 62. And then they're saying that they go up to the shelter, and it just, I don't even know how many kennels you guys got there, what's your capacity with holding these animals, but are we running into an issue with like the mayors rounding up the animals too quickly for you guys to deal with them on your end?
Yeah, to be very honest and open about it, transparent about it, capacity at the shelter has always been a problem, and it continues to be a problem. And thankfully, the mayors are understanding. They're understanding of the difficult situation we're in, but I think everybody is rightfully frustrated when you are trying to pick up animals and do the right thing, and there's not space at the shelter. Then it's a difficult position, and it's the same story we've had for many years, where a mayor may pick up an animal, and if the animal's not injured, if the animal's not aggressive, we don't have space at the shelter, then they're forced to release the animal again, and it's something that I think a lot of people.
So what is the capacity? What is the capacity?
We have 55 dog kennels, but the capacity will vary depending on whether it's 8 puppies in a kennel or 1 adult dog or 2 adult dogs. So it varies, but I would say probably between 100 to 150 dogs and about 30, 40 cats at any given time. Cats, we actually have a lot of turnover. They get adopted pretty quickly. It's the dogs that might stay with us for sometimes 6-7 months before they get adopted. We also have a robust foster network, so we should really thank the 75 families that are currently fostering animals for us. They are phenomenal. They help us relieve stress at the shelter. But ultimately, we need to expand the shelter. We need more kennel space. One thing that we emphasized early on with the mayors is that we're not going to change our standard of care. We're not going to euthanize more simply to increase space. And so that, I think initially there was some, there are many mayors, and I think some of them felt that we should be euthanizing more. But that's a stance that we're not going to. Not only are we not going to change because it's an animal welfare issue, but it's counterproductive. And once we explain to mayors that when you kill animals, you actually increase the population, they came around, and we all now agree that spaying and neutering is ultimately the only fix for the only solution that's viable. And if I can reiterate that point, when you kill an animal in order to reduce the population, all you're doing is you're creating a vacuum. And this vacuum effect has been studied by veterinarians and researchers for many years. That vacuum where the resources still exist gets repopulated by numerous puppies. And where you had one old dog consuming those resources, now you have 4 or 5 puppies fighting over those same resources. And so when you simply kill animals, you don't actually fix the problem. So really what we encourage is that the mayors target, the problematic dogs, the ones that are aggressive, that have bit people, that are, threatening children. Those are the animals that should be the highest priority. Those and injured animals should be coming to us, but otherwise, ultimately the solution for the island is widespread spaying and neutering. That's the only way to solve this.
So you guys are currently at capacity.
Sorry, I can talk for quite a bit, but yes, we are at capacity, and we are consistent at capacity. That's not something that has changed.
Right.
We are always really, we're always pushing the limit where we're very near capacity. And so we do what many shelters in the States do, which is we are now scheduling intake. So if you call us in advance and you have a pet that you simply don't want anymore, we will try to schedule that out 2-3 weeks in advance rather than having them come up immediately, because every single day we have emergencies come in, an animal that has been hit by a car, an animal that has been, bit a child or something. And so those are the cases that take immediate priority. It's the cases where an animal is an optional forfeiture that we try to schedule those out.
So you guys aren't taking stray dogs from the mares.
Oh, I apologize. What I should clarify is when I say we're at capacity, that is not we're now done. It is a daily thing. So one day we might tell the Tamooning Mayor's office that we're unable to accept it. The next day we might have openings because some fosters have been able to take in animals, or we've been able to move animals up to adoption row. So when I say we're at capacity, that is not a permanent status. That is something that changes throughout the day, throughout the week.
What about the euthanization? So how does that work? I mean, do you have is it done daily, weekly, and what are some of the numbers?
Well, the numbers aren't good for us, but that's really the condition of the animals that come in. If an animal comes to us and they are adoptable, so that they're not aggressive, they're not injured, they're not dying, we have over 80-90% placement rate for them getting adopted. But if they come to us and they're feral, or if they come to us with injuries, then those animals get euthanized. And that's probably about 70-80% of the animals that come to us are in that condition. Ideally, where we should be is that we have a veterinarian at the shelter so we can provide basic care. So if an animal comes to us and all it needs is an eye removal or an amputation, we could provide that care and find them a home. Unfortunately, at this stage, we don't have a veterinarian, so those animals, we tell people, if you bring us an animal that needs an eye removed and it's suffering, we'll provide euthanasia so it doesn't continue to suffer, but we don't have the ability to provide medical care. And so that's really where we should aim to get. We've worked with the Department of Ag. We hope to get a full-time veterinarian, but at this point we don't have that capability. So it's very difficult. Euthanasias also happen every day, day and night, because of emergencies. People will call us midnight on a Sunday or Saturdays because an animal has been hit, but the animal's still alive, and so they'll call our number. We answer 24 hours a day, and our staff will meet them in the middle of the night at the shelter and euthanize an animal so it doesn't have to continue suffering. So it does take a toll on our staff and our volunteers. It is not something that's easy to do, but we do it because we're the final line, and if we're not there, then these animals suffer.
So you said spay and neutering is the ultimate solution? That's what you said? So
Yeah.
So what happens? So the mayors, they round up these dogs and they bring them up to gain, and then you guys perform these services?
Well, it would be a multi-pronged approach. Mm-hmm. What we really need is everything from we do have a spay-neuter clinic at the shelter, not a veterinarian at this time, but we have the facilities to be able to provide that service once we get a veterinarian. We would also need voucher programs run through the mayor's office so that mayors can provide low-cost vouchers for people to go to private clinics. That would supplement our activity at the shelter. And then we would also do pop-up clinics like the Spaycation summer program that we did at Ordot Chalampago 2 summers ago for an entire month. We were able to provide 150 affordable spay-neuter surgeries to the community from that mayor's office. And so it's really a multi-pronged approach. But ultimately, we need to reach 75% of all owned and unowned animals to be spayed and neutered. So the biggest problem really is owned animals that are roaming. Those are the easiest ones to spay and neuter. Those are the ones that we really need to be targeting first.
So, Cyrus, I was just doing the math. You said that of the intake that you get from the mayors, roughly 70 to 80% are euthanized. So that means if you got 62 dogs, then 43 are put down. Is that accurate?
That wouldn't be accurate for that number because we do get a lot of intakes from the public. The mayors are bringing us more. We're seeing a lot of animals come in from the mayor's offices that are forfeitures. So, for example, the Tamooning brought us, I think, 15 dogs just from one home.
Wow.
Where an individual just didn't want to have the dogs anymore. So in that case, those animals are not, if they are healthy and adoptable, they're not being euthanized. I think we see a lot more animals coming in from the public than the mayors. But the public animals that are being brought in tend to be injured animals usually injured animals. So I think it's a little bit difficult to extrapolate that percentage and just apply it to the mayor's numbers. I can get those numbers for you, but I don't have those on hand right now.
So, and when you talk about the spay and neuter clinic and we don't have a vet, government vet on the payroll, what about, because I don't know, I kind of remember they used to do outreaches, but has there been any conversation with like veterinarians in the private sector, like, hey, you guys free on a Saturday, let's come down, give back to the community, do a spay and neuter thing?
And to their credit, they do. We and not only that, we've also had military veterinarians volunteer their time at our shelter. With the main problem has been just with the pandemic, we lost an individual that we were planning to hire, and that person had to stay in the States for family reasons related to the pandemic. And so now we're back at square one trying to rehire. There are some candidates that are promising. We're hoping with the incoming federal funds we'll be able to afford it through GovGuam. We're cautiously optimistic that we'll be able to get a veterinarian on Guam this year that can do full-time spay neuters and also shelter care. The facilities are there, but you're right. The private clinics, the private operations on Guam have been doing as much as they can, but unfortunately, they're really overtaxed as it is. I mean, if you call right now to try to schedule a private appointment, you might be looking at a couple of months out just to get a spay neuter, and that's just because there's such a high demand locally for this service. So in some ways, it's a good sign because we're not at that stage where we need to convince people that spaying and neutering is good. The public knows it. The public is demanding it. It's a service that's needed. The problem now is we just need government to step up and hire that individual. And we have some strong advocates leading the Department of Ag, so we're hopeful that can happen soon.
Is there any discussions about increasing the kennel capacity at
Yes.
Gain?
We can double, possibly triple the capacity at Gain for about $150,000 to $200,000 construction project. And so that's a number that we've been pushing hard with just the legislature and the administration. We're hoping that we can, if we have hundreds of millions of dollars coming in from the feds now to be spent pretty openly on any projects, we would be very frustrated if none of that were to be spent on such a high profile problem that is constantly in the news, that is constantly, a problem for mayors and such. And this is really just a common sense thing that currently is not being addressed. Animal control, animal welfare really is a government service, and Gain is operating a shelter that belongs to the government. It's long-term leased to us, but this is a government service. And right now we have one animal control officer for the island. If you have an emergency and it's 6 p.m. on Friday, you have to wait till Monday. It's just an untenable situation. And we're hoping that with these incoming government federal funds that an appropriate amount will be directed towards Department of Agriculture, animal control, and the shelter. And for $200,000, if we can triple the capacity, which would help mayors significantly, it's a game changer. It's a common sense thing. I would be shocked if it doesn't happen.
So you
We'd
guys
be very upset.
Right. So you guys have made the ask.
Yes.
All right.
How would you characterize your working relationship with Department of Ag?
With Department of Ag, exceptional. I mean, they are spread thin as it is, and so I'm very. I wouldn't want to be in that position, but Chelsea, the director of Department of Ag, is phenomenal. Her heart's in the right place. She stepped into this role because she wants to see change, and so we are actually very excited to be working with them. But I think they and us, we're struggling with the same problem, which is funding. It always boils down to funding. I mean, you can have the best of intentions, but if the funding isn't there, what can you do?
Have you guys got any stray chickens from this roundup? I mean, I know you're laughing, but one of the mayors actually said that they are also rounding up stray chickens.
That's news to me. I don't know where they're going. We, we have some stray chickens at the shelter that just hang out, and I know the staff is named, but they're
Once
not
they
up
get a
for
name,
adoption.
you know the rules, Cyrus. Once you give it a name, it's not a stray anymore.
That's true. That's true. That's when they're yours.
So basically, what you're saying is that even though the mayors continue to round up the strays and the shelters are at capacity, there hasn't been a day where you guys have just said, "Hey, we can't take anybody. Go put them somewhere else."
It has happened on day to day, on individual days, but we will work with the mayors basically we ask the mayors before setting out first of all, don't set out a trap unless you can check it the next day. We should never have a situation where a trap is put out and then it's checked 2 days later. That's dangerous for the animal. Don't set out, and ideally set out the traps in the morning before before the animal starts seeking out food early in the morning. And give us a call. Ask and check with us what our capacity is, and that's what we've been working on. So some mayors, it's a learning process. Sometimes there's miscommunication, but by and large, they should be getting in touch with us before trapping so that they can ensure that there's capacity. But the long and short of it is that mayors are trying to trap, but they are being held back. The bottleneck is the capacity at the shelter. And sometimes they might end up catching more than intended, or maybe we have some emergencies come in from the public. And so suddenly that capacity, that availability is no longer there. And when I say emergencies, other mayors are bringing in animals as well. Sometimes they're emergencies. And so it's a juggling act. It is not a permanent, we are closed or we are permanently open. It is a daily juggling act, just trying to handle utilize the limited space that we have.
All right, let's get to the cute animals. We have a bunch of the shelter. There's like pet of the week here, but then also, Cyrus, what you were telling me was that some of these pictures are actually strays that the mayors have brought in.
I believe all but one of the pictures you'll be looking at, I don't see it on my screen,
Yeah.
but all but one are actually mayor intakes. And so these are animals that the mayors have brought us, and they are now available for adoption. A couple are in foster care, the rest are at the shelter. We encourage people, check out our website to see these animals, check out social media, or even give us a call and schedule a time to come by the shelter. We are following very high standards of safety, so you can be assured that it's safe to visit the shelter. Just give us a call. It's or message us on social media. Schedule a time to swing by, and all the pets that are coming by right now on the screen.
Sorry,
Which one do you see now?
the puppy, of course.
Probably the white puppy.
Yeah.
What's that,
Yeah,
blue
that's a
eyes?
hard. Yeah, it's actually from a
Blue
litter.
eyes,
We
yes.
have maybe three of those little white puppies right now. There's Liam, which is I think they're all 7 weeks old. There's Liam, Capri, and Lexi, and they're really adorable.
You don't need to send any cat pictures.
Well, we have
Sorry,
You're
not a
not
cat
cat-
person.
you're not a cat.
Andy's a cat.
Andy's a cat person, which that says a lot about his personality.
I'm allergic to cats.
Yeah, Bree's allergic to cats. My sister is asthmatic, so we never had cats. And I just don't like cats because they just come with so much baggage. Like, dogs keep it
Okay.
simple. Just dogs keep it simple.
You do realize, Chris, this is a holy war you're getting into now.
I know. I don't care. I'm firmly on team dog. It is what it is.
If I didn't have allergies, I wouldn't mind having a cat.
Yeah. I mean, I've had cats. Don't get me wrong, but they just don't love you the same way.
When Ken comes in, he's gonna kick your butt.
He is. No, God, I take it back. I love all animals, yeah, but if you're into cats, I got no issues with you.
Gain is going to remain neutral on this very situation.
All right, Cyrus. So thanks. Let's touch base again in a couple
Gain
weeks.
is Switzerland.
Wait. Before we let Cyrus
okay.
go, though, what requirements? If somebody wants to adopt a pet, what are the requirements that criteria they must meet?
We work with people. There's a program called Adopters Welcome, which we have implemented at the shelter, which really works with people on a case-by-case basis, because we know we don't want to do just an entirely standard across the board. You have to meet this exact standard. So we will work with you. There's an application. There's a conversation to be had with every adoption, but we just check to make sure it's a good fit, whether the animals in your home will get along. And we do allow for returns if it's not a good fit, because we want people to feel comfortable and we want the animals to feel comfortable in the homes they're going into.
All right.
Thank you, Cyrus.
Thanks, Cyrus.
Thank you very much.
Okay, I'll see you.
Take care.
Hopefully they get the $200,000.
Yeah. Maybe we'll get Chelsea on in a couple weeks to kind of follow up on that. Yeah. So they say with 200 grand they can. Did he say double?
Double or
or triple the capacity, which is. I mean, obviously that's very needed. As the mayors
Yeah.
are. I mean, they're just going full steam ahead. Ronnie, they're taking puppies, guys. They're freaking puppies. Ah.
Yeah.
Well, that just 15 dogs. Did you already said they had got 15 dogs from one house? And the people were just like, we're tired of feeding them. And you know how the dogs, I mean, who has not fed a dog? Right? And once you start feeding them, they just keep coming. And then they tell their friends, like, hey, this lady over here got good food.
That happens at my house right now. I've
Right.
got 3 that come around.
Yeah.
And the dogs can get very, very creative if they know that
They like Jason because Jason eats takeout all the time. But that's how it all starts is you get the 3 dogs coming to eat Jason's leftovers, and the next week it's like 5 dogs, and the next week it's 10. Right. Guys, 7:59. Again, sorry if I hurt your feelings about the cats. Is it no judging zone?
Ken's gonna get you.
Yeah.
Ken
is going to come in and jujitsu me.
No, you're gonna go back to like your desk after we're done with the show, and there's like a big bag of like meow mix or something like that. Like, we'll see you later.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure my WhatsApp's going to be blowing up. People I didn't even know were cat people. Were gonna be like, hey, how long we've been friends, bro?
It's like,
By the
hey,
way, I'm a cat person.
And Chris is gonna go on Facebook. He said, "Wait a minute, I had like 52,000 followers. Now I've got like 13."
You know, it's funny because with Ken, I went to his his parents' place in
Yeah.
in Jigo.
Yeah.
Because she, she helps with cats and takes in strays and adopts them and stuff. So I went into his house and I already knew what I was getting myself into. And I told Carlito, I was like, dude, I am really allergic to cats.
Yeah.
So we got to get in here and we got to get out. But without fail, oh gosh, my allergy attacked during the interview. I kept sneezing.
Ken has nice cats, though.
Yeah,
Like, I like the
they're
nice
really
cats.
nice.
Yeah, they're like the ones with a lot of hair.
And,
Now-
and one of them actually took a liking to me and wouldn't stay away. And I was like, yes, pretty cat, pretty cat, pretty cat.
Now, see, here's the crazy thing about that.
away, pretty
You know that you're allergic to cats, right?
Yeah.
Both of my parents, my mom is and my dad was, both of them were very, very allergic to cats. So I don't even know if I am because we just never had them around. I may be
We'll
allergic
send
to
you up
cats.
to Gain and go in.
No.
Yeah, we'll do a test.
Yeah.
Reed's allergic to horses too, because when we did that story.
Oh, you're allergic to horses.
Oh, Mike,
Reed.
Mike is
Yeah.
Mike is saying,
Is there anything you're not allergic to?
Sneezing.
He's allergic to political BS too.
yeah.
I'm allergic to we need to get out right now.
How do salamanders treat you?
Guys, it's 8:01. To our viewers on KUAM TV, thank you so much for jamming with us. Come on over to our Facebook live feed, or you could do it on The Breeze. Again, we're KUAM FM. We've got in Guam, The Breeze 93.9. That's on the radio side. It's just one part of our multimedia attack every morning, every weekday morning. Even during Holy Week, we're out here. Okay, it's 8:02. So again, KUAM TV. My name's Chris.
I'm Sabrina.
Hasta. Adios.